You walk into this room at your own risk, because it leads to the future. Not a future that will be, but one that might be. This is not a new world. It is simply an extension of what began in the old one. It has patterned itself after every dictator who has ever planted the ripping imprint of a boot on the pages of history since the beginning of time. It has refinements, technological advances, and a more sophisticated approach to the destruction of human freedom. But like every one of the superstates that preceded it, it has one iron rule. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace. Truth is a menace. Truth is a menace.
No sense of adventure? No wonder at the unknown?
Some wonder. Some inquisitiveness as to how a human being can place himself in such jeopardy. Not only with willingness, but with anticipation.
Jeopardy? Harvey, old friend. The jeopardy I face comes in shadow. Yours happens to be much more real. And of the two, there isn't much choice. Did you happen to drink milk this morning, Harvey? What was the strontium-90 content of the glass? And has it occurred to you that the things you've been eating over the last couple of years might be turning your bones into sawdust? Oh, Harvey, speak to me of jeopardy, if you will, but don't make it sound as if I have an exclusive franchise on the calculated risk. You and I both share this dubious distinction with several million of our peers who inhabit the 20th century.
And you don't care for the 20th century?
I do not. I will now tell you as succinctly as possible how I classify the time. We live in a cesspool, septic tank, a gigantic sewage complex in which runs the dregs, the filth, the misery-laden slop of the race of man. His hatreds, his prejudices, his passions, and his violence. And the keeper of the sewer? Man. He is a scientifically advanced monkey who walks upright and with eyes wide open into an abyss of his own making. His bombs, his fallout, his poisons, his radioactivity, everything he designs as an art for dying is his excuse for living. No, Harvey, we live in an exquisite bedlam, an insanity. Maybe all the more grotesque by the fact that we don't recognize it as insanity.
Did it ever occur to you that some of these scientifically advanced monkeys make bombs as a simple expedient for survival? That across this planet there are other scientifically advanced monkeys who would pulverize us into dust if they thought they could do so with impunity?
So the freedom-loving monkeys make bombs, or the aggressors make bombs. Ultimately, somebody pushes a button, and just as ultimately, this Earth disappears. All of this, I suppose, is right and practical and expedient. Few germs will rise up out of the rubble and wave microscopic flags of victory. Shed a few microscopic tears for the race of man. Harvey, are you content with this kind of status quo? Are you satisfied with this kind of 20th century?
Dachaus must remain standing. The Dachaus, the Belsens, the Buchenwalds, the Auschwitzes. All of it. They must remain standing because they are a monument to a moment in time when some men decided to turn the earth into a graveyard. Into it they shoveled all their reason, their logic, their knowledge, but worst of all, their conscience. And the moment we forget this, the moment we cease to be haunted by its remembrance, then we become the grave diggers. Portrait of a Bush League Fuhrer, a sparse little man who feeds off his self-delusions and finds himself perpetually hungry for want of greatness in his diet. And like some goose-stepping predecessors, he searches for something to explain his hunger and to rationalize why a world passes him by without saluting. The something he looks for and finds is in a sewer. In his own twisted and distorted lexicon, he calls it faith, strength, truth. He was obsolete. But so is the state, the entity he worshipped. Any state, any entity, any ideology that fails to recognize the worth, the dignity, the rights of man, that state is obsolete.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.